Hi everybody, it's Jamie over at STRETCHMED Studios, and we are going to start our stretch session today. Before we get started, I just want to remind you all that you are participating at your own risk, and we're providing this to you as a resource, but you should always check with your physician before starting any exercise or stretching program. If at any point you want to skip any of our stretches because you feel they're too aggressive, please do so, and if you ever need to take a break, please stop and take that break. I will be modifying a few of the stretches along the way, but I encourage you to try all of our stretches, but I don't want you to get hurt. So please be careful as you stretch with us today. So today's positive focus is a quote that's my favorite quote, and it is that I never lose, I either win or I learn. So think of a positive quote today that really means something to you and say it a few times in your head, and that's going to be your positive focus for yourself for the day. And we're going to do a full body stretch today that is a great stretch to do after a workout, or if you're just at home and you want to get in a full body stretch. So it's a stretch that's going to hit most of our major muscle groups. So let's get started. So we're going to be down on the ground today for most of our stretches, so we don't have to go up and down a lot. So get comfy on the ground here, and you may want a pillow or a towel for your knee for one of our stretches. So if you don't have that, go grab one real quick and then come on back. And otherwise, we're going to get started where we're seated and we're nice and comfortable here. That way we're not doing a whole lot of running around. So to begin, we're going to start with our upper body, and we're going to start with our neck. So what we're going to do is we're going to stretch the right side of our neck first by just tilting our left ear down towards our ear. In each of these stretches, we're going to hold 15 or 20 seconds. But again, like I've said before, if there's an area that's tight for you and you want to hold it longer, or you want to do that series of stretches again, that is entirely up to you. Now from here, what we're going to do is we're going to transition and just look down on that little spot on our shirt right here. So we're just going to look down, and now that stretch is going to transition from the side of your neck a little bit more into the posterior portion of that neck. And now from here, what we're going to do is we're going to rotate and we're going to look up. Okay, so now you're going to feel that stretch a little bit more through the anterior portion of the right side of your neck. Good. Now nice and slowly come back up to neutral. And now we're going to stretch that left side. So right ear down to the right shoulder. And just hold. Again, you can intensify this stretch if you want by putting your hand here on your neck and giving a very, very light pull. You don't want to ever overstretch the neck area, but for many of us, for me today, this is plenty, just like this. Now we're going to take that slight turn down and over, looking at that little spot on our shirt here. And we're going to hold. Again, you'll feel the stretch a little bit more into the back here. I can feel a little bit into my trap, and I also feel it into my levator. And now we're going to transition, okay, and we're going to just look up. Again, your head still stays tilted to the right, and we're just looking up now. And now you can feel that stretch here through the anterior portion of your neck a little bit more. All right, now we're going to do a tricep stretch. So from here, going to take our arms above our head, and you're going to clasp your fingers like this. And what you're going to do is slowly pull down to your right. So you see how my right arm is pulling my left arm down and back, and I'm feeling that stretch here through the lat and also into my tricep. And we're just going to hold. Again, how far you come is where your range of motion takes you. So some of you may be here, that's absolutely fine. Some of you may be even deeper than the stretch that I'm in. Make sure you're sitting up nice and tall. And if you don't want to be sitting down, you can always be on your knees like this. It's whatever's more comfortable for you. If you want to sit this way, whatever you feel comfortable in for sitting, even if you want to sit in an Indian pose like this. So now let's do the other side. So now we're going to pull to the left and stretch out that right tricep. Just going to hold. Good. Okay. Now we're going to do a little bit of a stretch here and for our back. So what you're going to do is you're going to open up your arms. Okay, watch me closely here. And you're gonna bring your elbows together. So your right elbow is coming over your left elbow, just like this. And then have those fingers clasp each other. And now pull that right arm into your body. And you'll feel that stretch through that back and through the shoulder. Okay, I'm just gonna hold it. And if this is too much for you, just do the stretch just like this. Okay, it's the same type of a stretch, except we're clasping the hands here to get a little bit deeper. Okay, now we're gonna open up. And now this time, left elbow comes above right elbow. Clasp those fingers and then pull that in and across. You'll feel that left shoulder blade pulling away from the midline of your body, and that left arm is coming in towards your chest. And you'll feel a nice stretch in the back, and you'll also feel it in the shoulder a little bit. Good. Okay. Now let's do a little bit of a stretch for the chest. What I want you to do, arms straight out, thumbs up, and just reach back as far as you can. This you're going to feel in the chest, and you're also going to feel a little bit in those biceps. Okay. You can see me take my wrist from neutral, and you can see me extending them back a little bit to intensify that stretch. Again, you bring those arms back as far as you feel comfortable. Some of you may be here, others of you may be even further back than I am. You may be way back here, okay? And now we're gonna take that chest stretch a little bit deeper. I'm gonna get on my knees because I wanna show you when I turn around here what you're going to do. You're gonna take your arms like this. See how I'm clasping at my elbows? And just lift up and away. Now when I lift up and away, I'm pulling my shoulders back. So your shoulders are not forward, they're back, and you're lifting those arms up and away like this. Lift that head up, and you'll feel that stretch through that chest region. If this is too much for you, just bring those arms back like this, or if you can clasp them, you can do the same type of a stretch. So these are just some different modifications on the stretch. And we'll hold. Good. Okay, now we've got our shoulders pretty well stretched out here, and our chest and our back a little bit. We're gonna do a stretch here for our forearms. So I'm gonna start with our left arm. Left arm straight out like this. I'm gonna take our right hand, put up on top of our fingers, and just give a nice pull back on those fingers. You can see my arm is nice and straight, and I'm just giving those wrist flexors a nice stretch. You don't wanna bend the elbow because you'll lose the stretch. So keep it locked, just like that. And you don't want to be too far on the tip of your fingers. You want to be right here, right in that that second knuckle, or your knuckles, I guess. If you're gonna punch someone, that's where you want to line up, okay? And now we're just gonna take the hand, flip it down, same stretch. And now we are stretching out those extensors of our wrist. Good. And again, you're sitting on the floor so that you're in a comfortable position, whatever that may be. Okay, now we're gonna switch, gonna do that right side. So right arm out, elbow nice and straight. Grab those fingers just above the knuckles and pull back. If you want to get one on the thumb, you can reach back and grab that thumb as well. Just hold. This stretch will feel really good if you've been sitting at your computer all day typing away, or you've been on your phone quite a bit. This stretch is really going to help open up all those wrist flexors. Now we're going to change direction here. Again, my elbow is still locked. I have not changed my elbow position, and I'm just working on bringing my hand in towards my forearm as far as it will go. That's comfortable for me. Good. Okay, now I want you to sit in a straddle position like this. And those of you that have been in the studio with us for our 25 and 50-minute stretches, you know that we normally do this stretch with you and we will assist you on it. So this stretch is a low back stretch, and it's also going to get a little bit into the groin, but you're really going to feel this in that low back as well. So what we're going to do, hands forward in between, and you're just going to keep that back straight. We've told you this in the studio, whenever we do these stretches, we don't want you rounding forward. We want you to be sitting up and pivoting from the hip, and you're just going to reach forward, okay? And that's going to be a stretch for that low back. And some of you may be able to get really, really low to the ground depending on your back flexibility. All I want you to do is just reach. If you can't get down to the floor, just reach forward just like this. So my hands are not on the floor, okay? I'm just reaching forward. I'm not rounding down. I'm here and I'm reaching forward, feeling that stretch in my back. Okay, and those of you that are more flexible, you may be down here, and some of you may be close to the floor. It all depends on your range of motion. Good. All right. We're going to stay in this position here, and all I want you to do is lean forward. I'm going to slide back so you can see my feet. Where are they? There they are. I'm going to grab my left toe with my left hand and just give a little bit of a pull, and you're going to feel that stretch through the hamstring and all the way down into that calf muscle. And you're just going to hold it. And now we're going to switch sides. I'm going to do the same thing here on the right. Again, it's hamstring, and we're also hitting that calf muscle. If you want to intensify, you can lean forward a little bit more from that hip. Don't just round the back, and you'll feel that stretch deepen a little bit more. Really, I want you to make sure you're pulling back on those toes and you're feeling that stretch in the calf. If this is too much for you, bend that knee a little bit if you have to. Grab that foot, okay, and pull up on your toes just like this. You'll still get a bit of a stretch in the calf, okay? It will relax the stretch in that hamstring. Good. All right, now we're going to come up onto one knee. So let's start with our left leg forward, and we're down on our right knee. So we're just like this. And all we're going to do is a nice lunge. So this is going to open up our hip flexors. I'll turn this way so you can see my hip flexor. So left knee is up, down on the right, and work hip flexor. All you're going to do from here is just lean down and towards the floor, really working on stretching out the hip flexor. Okay, some of you may be down here, leaning down towards the floor. Go as far as you can. Okay, you can use the floor or you can use your other leg as balance, depending on how far your range of motion will take you down. Good. Now for the next stretch, grab your towel, and I want you to put that towel underneath your right knee. Stay in the same position you're in, but just put that towel under your right knee for me. If you're sitting on a rug or a mat, then you're fine. If not, put that towel down. And you're going to stay in the same position. You're going to come up out of the lunge. So we're in this position, a 90-90 position here. Put your left hand down on the floor like this, okay? And reach back with your right. Woo. Grab your quad. It's also a balance challenge on this one too, a little bit. Just like this, and you're just going to work to pull that quad toward your bum. So you can stay here and keep that hand on the floor, or if you want, you can come up onto the knee like this to intensify that stretch. Again, you're working to bring your heel in towards your bum on this stretch, okay? Again, here if you need to be. If you want to intensify, come on up here and put that left elbow up on the left knee, and you'll really feel that stretch set in. Again, we're really hitting that quad, and we're getting into that hip flexor just a little bit. Okay, now we're going to bring that leg down, and from here, same position, we haven't moved. You're just going to sit back, okay? And sit back as far as you can. Bring that toe up so you're back on your heel here. And you're just going to sit down towards the floor. This is getting that hamstring again. So you're going to sit as far as you're comfortable, okay? So when you come back, if you feel the stretch here, then you just hold here. Others of you will be down lower and deeper into the stretch. So you go until you feel the stretch in that left hamstring. Use your hands for balance. This stretch feels really good, and you can always grab that toe and intensify it, deepen it a little bit, and that'll even hit that calf for you again. Okay. Back up, so now we're back on our knees, starting position where we were a few minutes ago. Take a deep breath. Okay, now we're going to switch sides. We're going to do the other one. So now we're going to step up and forward with the right leg. Just like this. I'm in my 90-90, and I'm going to turn the other way so you can see a little better. Okay, down on the left knee, up with the right knee, and all you're going to do here is just lunge as far as you can go. Okay, you pick that lunge so you're feeling that stretch in the hip flexor. And you're really just working to push that pelvis down towards the floor and away from that left leg. You're pushing down and away like this. You're gonna sit up nice and tall. You can look up if you want. Get a little bit more of the stretch here through the obliques. Good. Okay. Make sure you've got a towel or your mat under that left knee. Okay. All right. Now we're going to do our quad stretch again. We're going to come down here. Okay. I like to put my left hand here, and I tend to open up my stance a little bit wider, but do what you need to do to make yourself comfortable here. So here, I'm going to reach back. I'm going to grab my left foot here just above my ankle, and I'm just going to work to bring that heel in towards my bum. And again, if you want to challenge yourself, come on up like this, onto that quad. And sit up nice and tall and pull that heel in. Again, if you have challenges with the balance, stay down here with this stretch. And if you're here and you're still having a hard time, just sit back like this a little bit, and you'll get a mild stretch in that quadricep. So if you're having too much issue grabbing that leg and coming up, depending on your range of motion and flexibility, you can also do that instead. Okay, so we're going to finish up here with this stretch. Okay, bring that leg down, extend the right leg out, toe comes up, not heel stays on the ground, and you're just going to sit down and back and work on getting that stretch through your hamstring. Good. Again, if you want to grab those toes and intensify through the calf, knock yourself out, okay? Just a nice stretch, especially post-workout. Get a nice stretch to those hamstrings and those calves, and even after a nice run. All right, now from here, we're going to sit back down. All right. Now we're going to do a couple of stretches for our low back and for our glutes. So what we're going to do from here, we're going to take our left leg. We're going to bring it across our right. I'm going to slide back a little bit so you can see me. There we go. Okay. So left leg's over the right. I'm going to take my hand, right hand, place it on the opposite side of my left knee. So I'm on the outside of my left knee. My right hand is back here, and I'm just going to give myself a turn and look backwards towards the wall behind me. So again, you just come across, right arm, right elbow on the outside of your left knee, just give yourself a little turn. If that's too much for you, just put your hand here and just reach back so that you're getting a nice twisting motion in the back and reaching behind you as far as you're able to. And we're going to switch sides. So now right leg comes up over left, left elbow on the outside of the right knee, reach back with the right arm and look back and twist. Again, if that's too intense, you just turn, use your hand here for support, reach with the right arm, and go back as far as you're comfortable. All right, excellent. Whew. Now we're going to do a little bit of a glute stretch. So we're going to stay in the same position, and we're going to take our left leg. We're going to put our right leg up, okay? We're going to take our left leg, and we're going to bring it up on top of our left knee. See, I'm leaning back on my hands. Lean back on your hands. And all you're going to do is just work to bring that right foot in a little bit and just push up and sit and lean forward. So if I'm on my side here, I got my foot here. All I'm doing is leaning up and in. And you're going to feel that stretch right through your glutes, right through that exterior portion of your hip here. So I'm just sitting up and in. And if you want, you can lift that foot a little. Bring that leg a little bit closer. And you're just going to feel a really nice stretch through that glute. Again, if your range of motion limits that and your flexibility, then you just stay right here and just sit up and in towards it like this. Okay, so you bring that leg up and in as far as your glutes and that piriformis muscle is going to let you go. Okay, now we're going to switch. We're going to bring up that left leg. We're going to put the right foot up on top of the knee like this. Okay, get comfortable, and again, push up and lean up and in. Lift that heel if you want to intensify. You'll feel that stretch right in through that glute and that piriformis. And you modify the stretch to wherever you feel comfortable. Even if you need to start here and slowly work your leg up as far as you can and say, oh, I feel it right there. And then just use those hands and push your upper body a little bit closer. And then you're like, oh, I feel that even more now. And you just hold that position. Good. Okay. Now we're going to do a quick stretch for our groin and our adductors because you can't forget those guys, okay? So we're going to do a stretch here called a frog. You're going to be in a position like this. You're going to be down on your knees. And all you're going to do from here is just slowly let those knees open up and drive that pelvis down to the floor as far as your body is going to let you. So if you start here and your body only lets you go here, then that's as far as you go. Otherwise, you just sink right down into this one here, okay? And when you're stretching, when you're here, okay, you can sit down and back and just push down into the floor a little bit here, and you'll intensify that stretch even more. So you can see where they call it a frog. I kind of look like a frog right now. You're just going to sit down and use your hands here for balance and to hold so that you don't overstretch that groin. Good. Now we're going to come back up and in. Oh, I felt that. Woo. Okay. Now we're going to do one more stretch here. And that is going to be for our shins, for our anterior tib here. And we're also going to get down into those foot dorsiflexors as well. So all you're going to do is you're still on your knees here, like I am. Real easy. See my feet are flat into the floor like this? All I'm going to do is I'm just going to sit down and back. Okay, and you keep those toes pointed, and what you want to do is just sit down and back and sit down on those heels and just allow your body weight to feel that stretch to that anterior tib and down into the dorsiflexors of the foot. You can even point your toes in a little bit towards each other. You know, I just went like that with my toes and sit, and you'll feel that stretch a little bit more on the lateral side here of your shin. And just hold that stretch for a few more seconds. Good. Now from here, all I want you to do, go into a nice stretch called the child's pose. So we're here, just reach forward and down, and try and sit back a little bit. Feel that stretch to the shoulders, through your back. Just feels really, really good. And then bring those arms back, and just lean down and forward. Slowly come on up. You can have a seat back on the floor. And we just took you through a nice full body stretch. Again, this is a great stretch to do post-workout. And it's a great stretch to do if you're just looking to work on increasing your overall flexibility. We hit all of the major muscle groups as we went through these. They weren't too complicated or too advanced. Most of them should be relatively I don't want to say easy, but you should be able to catch on to these stretches the more that you practice them. Again, if you have a particular area that's tighter than others and you want to hold them for longer than 15 or 20 seconds, or you want to do them a second or third time, absolutely, you certainly can do that. Again, this is our session and it's a guide for you, but then you take it and you make sure that you do and you use it the way that will work best for you. So that is our stretch for today. I hope you have a wonderful day. We'll see you soon. Take care.